I'm here. Let me change the. I like the lighting a little better. Does that work? This chair is going to be noisy, I think. Let's pop up my poetry app. Amaya, you're so quick. You're always so quick on the draw. You must have notifications on or something. I like the sugar-free sodas. I tried to hook up. Wait. I tried to hook this thing up. I tried to hook this up because it has sound effects. Record scratch, DJ horn, ding, buzzer, crickets, car horn, sad trombone, and a bleep out. But I couldn't figure out how to get it to. Right now, I'm using a microphone that's built in to this camera, and you can tell it's kind of cheap. But eventually, I want to be able to add bells and whistles, like literally, I guess just to goof off. I don't know. That's cool. I had a lot of fun making those songs. Let's see what I got in the archive today. I have something about roses. Yeah, save that one. Amaya, do you ever do so much art that you kind of get burnt out and you're like, so do you ever just have to take a break from art because you're like, man, I've been doing so much? Or do you kind of never get sick of it? If I do some poetry reading today, I kind of want to put it on the screen so it can also be read. I got the feeling from you that it's hard to wear you out with art. Yeah, I think the people who don't understand the work that goes in are just people who haven't done it themselves. Um, do you ever do a time lapse where you show yourself doing the whole thing and then speed it up? This one's called Light on the Garden. Really short. You had to lose your roses. The clay begged you to mold it. When daylight hits the garden, the secret scent, you told it. I gave you back your purpose. I don't know how to hold it. Hey, Trista, welcome in. We're going to goof off, read some poetry, and who knows what. I do have milk for a snack, folks. I tried to make chocolate milk, but it didn't. It was just a chocolate syrup. It didn't seem to work. The experiment was a complete success. I 2.5 hours in, it started freezing on me, and I got the notification and the feedback that it was freezing. And then all I did was exit off and bring it back up, and it was running completely smooth. So I think if I need to go past 2.5 hours, it's just going to be in two chunks. I think I want to do another experiment to make sure, but I was pretty excited about that. Okay, this one's called. Well, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to see if I'm gonna wait to bring out the heat. You know what I mean? I'm gonna wait to bring the fire. Clint had issues like that. He shut his camera off after it started getting weird. My camera is really cheap. You guys can probably tell, and the microphone is built in. And if I unplug the USB, it'll still frame me, and then I have to do something to reconnect. I was experimenting with it earlier to just kind of get to know it. And I want to do a separate microphone so I can have better audio, but I guess all in due time. Amaya asks if I have any drawing ideas. Yeah. Let me see if there's some in the archive. I haven't kept a bunch, but I do have some. Okay. I don't know if this one will make sense to you, but I have a drawing idea where I want to draw an anthropomorphic cat. So like a cat person, like a person with a cat head who walks upright, and they're leaning down and they're petting a dog. And there's a quote on it that says, "I like dogs, but I'm more of a cat person." Here's another one. I want to paint this thing called Iris. It's this lady on a porch, oil on canvas. I call it the windswept woman. So it's a woman on a porch with a black twisted dress and a large hat that shadows her face. And she's maker of storms and bringer of grief. Oh, okay. Here's a goofy drawing idea I have. Do you know those foam things you put your toes in to separate them so you can paint them? I want to draw a foot with that foam thing on it, but there's like 10, 11, 12 toes. So I want to draw a foot that has just a bunch of toes. I just think that's funny for some reason. And then there's one last one I want to share. Punxsutawney Phil. So that groundhog that they use for Groundhog Day, I want to draw him, but he's a punk. Like, he's like a punk rocker. He has like a vest and like spiky hair. And it says Punxsutawney Phil. It's like a pun. Let me check something real quick. Right. All right, back to the poetry stuff. Poetry complete. This isn't really a poem. This is more of a narrative. It's called My Job. My job is to bring back things from the places of the limitless, the places I visit, then come back with these items mostly intact, then translate them to be limited. This one's called New England. Thoughts on and glossy, avenues I could get lost on, ones that might cost me. I need a new room with a thick hook to hang my coat, someplace to live small and all alone, maybe with a cannery and an awkward coast, morning walks and evening toast, somewhere with compassion and passing boats. Let me find out a way to share the visuals. Ooh, that could work. But maybe not. Let's see here. Millie, what's up? Millie Vanilla Bean. Okay. I want to search the word roses. Okay. This poem is called Stolen Roses. Out past the reservoir, beyond the city, foothills. Head heavy, not with crown, but of world ills. Such fit and finish, but I've green gills. Starved of my youth, ribs showing, long in the tooth. Both I and the horse I rode in on. I never really glowed until the page I wrote on lit up like a new sun. This flow, the river I moat along, bestowed, a warrior for so long, a passion of which we both stole a rose from. They dried, before our words could form, laid before a bookworm, torn before the page turns, lost with all these breadcrumbs, gone before the day warms. Do I have two of these versions? I have two of these. Let's see if this one's any better. I think it's the same thing. Poetry complete. This might be, hold on here. Here's another one. This one's called Toy Shirts. Home alone laundry. Peace and quiet. The house is a wreck, yet serene. I put the dishes off another week. I reach for the rest of my clean clothes that I let wrinkle in the basket. I lift one of her t-shirts. Man, there really never was much weight to these things. Fake almost. Like make-believe. I pretend her body is filling the space in between, a warm embrace. One of my favorite things. Just another pleasant daydream. Ooh, here's one I wanted to read. But I'm almost getting greedy now. I'm like, ooh, I want to wait till there's like 5 people here to read this one. So Flood of the Village for later. Also check out what I can do. Actually, that still shows up. I guess oh cool, it looks kind of, this is kind of fun. I kind of like this lighting. I like this lighting better than this lighting. Ah. I'll just be like, okay, when the poem's about to start, I'll go like this, and then I'll read it. That one gave you chills. I like that. I get chills easily nowadays. Like I'll talk about something and I'll get the goosies, which I like it. It's nice. Yeah, I'm gonna switch the light just because I like having this device that I got at Harbor Freight that you can turn on. I have a couple of different things you can turn on with it, actually. And I'm losing control, 'cause the power you're supplying, it's electrifying. Twin Dreamers. Yeah, maybe so. Symptoms. I should make a poem called Symptoms. Okay. Lovey, how's it going? You caught alive. You are here. Now we can really get the ball rolling. Okay, let's do... What am I on? Oh, I'm on one-liners. No wonder these are so short. Let's go back to full poems, complete. You can hear him too? This microphone must be better than I give it credit for from sensitivity point of view. When I did my Song a Day challenge and I had the headphones on listening to what the mic's picking up, I could hear the trains better than I could open air, I think. Let's see if I got any poems with trains involved. Nope. Just a short story I was working on called Tom's Red Envelopes. Millie, you're still here. Let me read an excerpt from something. What did I call it? Well, I know what to search to find it. All notes. Actually, this doesn't. I'm going to read this short story that I'll have to get back to you on the thing I was going to read, which is even shorter. This is called the carpeted room. Last night I had the most vivid dream, but it's doing that fadeaway thing that dreams do. All I remember is something about a sun, a field, and a snake. It's gone now. I woke from that dream in my hotel room and promptly found the door. I proceed down a hallway with seemingly endless portraits of babies. At the bottom of each was what looked like a numerical designation. At the end of the hall, there was a small glass room where the weather was programmed. A man with a pork pie hat was careless at the controls. A woman's voice heard across the hall sounded stressed, belting out something about a surplus of bodies and a shortage of souls. The whole place smelled of an even mix of coffee and new vinyl. The air was warm, borderline hot, but everything I touched was chilled, almost like the heat just turned on, and the room has yet to acclimate. I don't even know why I'm here. I don't recall where I was, but I seem to be too tall for this place. As the handrails, the ceiling, everything is low. I'm rushed by a group of blurry gray strangers into a carpeted room with one of those contraptions to occupy kids waiting at the hospital. The one with the beads on wires and primary colors. They had several things to occupy time, which to me looked silly, since time didn't seem to be a part of this place. There were blocks strewn across the floor, and in the corner of the room lived a small playhouse with a carpeted ramp entrance and a tinted bubble window. The whole scene was terribly familiar. I experienced an absolute nagging sensation, like a voiceless person was calling for me in the playhouse. So I got on all fours and ducked my head as I shuffled up the carpeted ramp and closed in on the slide. It must lead outside since I can see some light. I figured what the hell and I took head first like old times. The slide seemed to be clamping down on me. It became evident that the walls were always in, and I felt as though I was putting wet clothes back on after being blissfully dry. I felt like I knew everything that the universe knew, and I was deeply sad about forgetting it all. I started to cry. Cool, I can turn the light off. I can turn the light on when it's done instead of saying end or just stopping. Okay. Here is the short thing I wanted to read you. So for everybody listening to this, it's not a complete story. It's a fragment that I feel compelled to share. I think it has potential, but it's not even close to being done. I kind of abandoned it, and I hope to come back to it. I have to almost do slightly different voices for this one, because it's more of an actual, it has quotation marks. It's called The Arbiters, and that's a working title. Take the child back, the woman barked. Now? But we can't, pleaded a voice of reason, a voice of good. You will. Do it now. A gentle pull of the joystick toward the operator, followed by a regrettable depress of the dull brown button that was concealed by a latched cover, the type of scene more comfortable to look away from. Grown man or God, makes no difference, he muttered under his breath. The room fell silent for several moments, until Lars, with his characteristic insensitive timing, cuts through the dense stillness of the room like a rusty knife to ask, "Anybody here remember how to start a tornado?" Ingrid scoots her chair back with a cutting shriek and gets up from her desk promptly to go help and hush him up, giving Docket some space to air out. She is such a saint with these things. Ugh, what do you want now? Ingrid growled towards Lars. Like I said, I need to make a tornado, and soon too. I think if it doesn't happen within the next few minutes, some folks will get wise to it, replied Lars, with a tone that suggested this was now both of their problems. Didn't Teve write you notes about how to initiate everything? Replied Ingrid, her impatience now gaining strength. Everything but tornadoes. said Lars with certainty. There, it's right there. It clearly says how to create and alter thunderstorms with tornadoes. Well, they should have put the word tornado earlier in a sentence, said Lars. Ingrid agreed, but wasn't going to do it out loud. She turned to leave the room, nearly forgetting that she had hoped to kill a little more time to allow the air to lighten in the mainway, and for Docket to cool off. He wasn't hot-headed at all. Really, he was probably the calmest one of the bunch, but he had the toughest job of them all. Maybe the most rewarding, but definitely the toughest. So that was probably hard to follow because I'm not good at making special characters. The point is, the concept is, you're following this group of coworkers that are responsible for actually creating, moderating, and regulating the weather and life and death too. And there's more. Well, not to that part, but we're going to do some more poems too. What I'm saying without saying it? Good, I hope so. Because I feel confident with my poetry, but I'm working on short stories. A lot of my, what was that called? Similar to the kids' movie about feelings. I never did watch it, but I saw the commercials, and I was like, oh, that's cute. I like that. Let's do something spooky. Are you guys ready for something spooky? Okay. Let's do something spooky. This is called Petrichor. And it's funny because there's like a preface. Okay. So I'll tell you when I'm going to do the preface with the light on, then I'm going to read the bulk of it with the light off. So the first clue. She didn't know she was walking around dead until she went out into the rain and didn't get wet. Here was her letter that she wrote that was scribbled on frayed paper. It's like I pictured, but not like before. I still go to the park, the market, the shore. I glide down the hallway without ever touching the floor. I enter every room, ignoring every door. Now I've been to the island, and I've been to the main, and there's nothing that I miss except the feeling of rain. Almost morning, once decomposing on a bed of black. Her angel leaves the room, never to come back. Ghosts crowd the old highway. A trail of fog envelops the driveway. Something vague checking in, standing like a pole out by the road. It can wait forever. She might wait longer. The family across the street has grown, scattered, and passed away a few times over. She rarely lifts a finger. The sky hangs lower than ever. It leans in as if it's waiting for her next word. She won't so much as whisper. Time and life were two kids in the front lawn, laughing at each other's wounds. The blinds close, the deadbolt extends. There's a beckoning, so sparse, but even a blue moon produces a rhythm, a calling, complete with lightning and mist and a voice so booming. Routine theatrics. She hides until it's over. Silent like a thin coat of oil, her only protection. But maybe today is the day she'll go. She heads out to the tree in the backyard and lies there long enough for the trunk to grow ever more hollow. She was already somewhere her mind and body couldn't follow. She floats over to the hill where they used to trim her hair. Her dried soul was still shriveling there. She knew no spells, but felt to repeat something she collected in the corners of her private hell, and so formed a trail of dark words that were secreted from the fibers of her being, and they slipped off the tip of her tongue, leaving shiny trails of tar that suspended in midair like filigree of vine and leaf, twisting and contracting like a snake on its prey, and slowly descending until it crashes to the ground in a pile of damp ash, which soaked into the thirsty soil and was soon dissolved by the long-awaited rain. This rain. Somehow she could feel it this time. Inside out might be the word, might be the term, might be the name, Trista, yeah. Lovey has an official start of the day. I feel like a pistol shoots off and there's a flag or something. But thanks for stopping in. I just came up with a new one-liner the other day. Drowning doesn't quench your thirst. It might be sad. I take it as somebody too bitter to move on. Yeah. It's good to go dark every once in a while. I think I got another one that's kind of weird. This one this one's kind of like a dream almost. It's called Chew. A child who found it was all a game, but couldn't pause it. An adult to never mind it. A kid who used to see behind it. An adult who can see stars in his closet. I woke again to something chewing on my foot. I'd never seen that shade of gray before. The desecrate angel in the kitchen, the mother at the door. There was a substance soaking through the acoustic tile ceiling. Tiny goblins rode up to exit the basement. Everyone turns their head in unison, as if someone was pulling their wires. Even my head was pulling. I didn't want to see the truth. Stars were dragging up the carpet stairs, leading to a black hole where the landing used to be, where as a child I would hurry to flip the light switch. Everything is caught in a slow spiral. I could feel the presence of slaves in the closet. Their hands were helping to sculpt something. It felt dark and vaguely spherical. It felt like they were prepping it for my remains to ride in. It moved in the closet. I felt this shift before. I'm not going. They can't make me go. Even if one gets close, hurt they will know. I never played this game. Never placed my bet on God's grave. I can force the hands of time. I can wrinkle their lives and watch them grow. I can crush into dust of old. This is nothing new. This is nothing they know. I won't. I just won't go. The lady is at the foot of the bed again. She always cocks her head to ask, "Are you ready to turn infinitely old?" The world's pain swollen. The room gains cold. The lady asks again, more bold, "Are we ready to turn infinitely old?" You know what? I had it on top chat. I didn't miss anybody, did I? Nope, I don't think I'm good. Okay. Okay, cool. I'm back. This one's really short too. It's called Mezzanine. This is a regular poem. Those other ones are almost story-like. This is just a regular old poem again. Those churches of rural, with attics all hollow, suffocate demons through cotton they'll swallow. Salt and holy water, the righteous sweat oil. These snakes hold no venom, I'll die in their coil. I love this light thing. I don't think I need all the spaces in this one. Oops. Oops. I guess I have to hit the insert button. Okay, this one's called, I think I read this before, but I'm going to do that a lot. I'm going to read them again a lot. This is called Wrought Iron. I know, right? Clap on, clap off. Wrought iron, like, wrought iron, like the gates. I came into the city. I was searching for your place. There was trash all in the alley, iron pickets on the gate. I was walking through unseen. I was given little grace, just hoping that the crows don't remember my face. It was soaking in the gutters. It was draining to the park. It was carved between the wood grain, and it was open after dark. It was all I ever wanted, but it didn't feel right. I can never trust a rose that only grows upon the night. This one's called Float. What if I float down this river, face down, soaking like a mop, thinking I am somebody? Then what if the face of some vague god starts to surface, to calmly remind me that I am not? I don't know if it could be. It could be. It could be about a cemetery. Sometimes I want to explain exactly what something is, and sometimes I want to give it as much free license as I can. And sometimes I'll just be like, it's up to you. It's yours now. And sometimes I don't know what it means until later. There's some things that I'm like, oh, that is actually more fitting now than it was when I wrote it. But yeah, the wrought iron one, it very well could be. I think when I wrote it, I was just thinking about gates, even that people's houses have those gates on the front. And I was in a different town when I wrote it, or I mean, like in my head. And so I think I was just observing a gate I was walking by. But I wonder if I have anything that is about a cemetery or just with the word cemetery. Oops, you got to spell it right. I mean, nope, I don't think I do. Not directly. Mm-hmm. This is more of a romantic one. Let's switch it up. It's called Your Hand in My Mind. Your hand in my mind. I was never touched there before. What's your thoughts and mine? I can't tell anymore. I've known magic was real, but it was hard to define. Just the power to heal. Your wand straightened my spine. My heart's a heavy creature, though it rarely gets fed. You're the most patient, you're the most patient teacher who carries tears, water, and bread. You reach my frequency, and that's all that seemed to matter. And we resonated so deep that we both began to shatter. Yeah, then let's do something funny. Well, let's do another. How would I? This one's not exactly dark or romantic. This is more introspective, I guess. This is called Groundwater. Moral compass spinning like a ceiling fan. Whose idea was this to place fate in my trembling hand? How can I procure a drop of dew from this desert sand? Yes, this place is dry, but I've always procured my water from the land. Have often hid my hand from the loved ones and fed sugar to strangers. Strangled by anger, I blurt out my plans, my true calling doused by my daily demands. About the time all my friends tried to fly, I was content to drive. They don't know how these wings have infected my spine. The joy of the fruit always disguised by the rind. This is another mystery kind of ghosty one. It's called Weeds. I am older than wind. I'm a shadowy being. I was deformed in the torment of the aching falling leaves. I was led to her garden where I was made to swallow weeds. I was stolen from the stars and quickly given to the thieves, all for cotton, silk, denim, diamond, and disease. I was forced to carry water that these new seeds don't even need. Then I was fed to the gearing of the time and light machine. Miriam, how's it going? Oh, wow, this is really short too, but let's do this one too. This is called Arrival. Arrival of moon. Choose between evils. Shadows in tandem, nonpareil and equal. Cloud we all know. Face holds no surprise. A dark worth beholding. A storm that's on the rise. I like that one. I like that one. I think I'm going to put a dot goo on it. When I put a dot goo on it, that means I can search dot G0 or dot GOO, and it's supposed to mean good. So if somebody's like, do you got any good ones? I could search that and just those show up. It's like a shortcut I found. Mama Fryer, how's it going? Well, now the gang's all here. We got 5 people. Okay, here's another short one. It's called Wind Holds the Ashes. Memory of peace to be sustained. Cursed, every crease upon my brain. Whips exchange. All right, sorry, let me start fresh. I want to use the word cursed instead of cursed, and I screwed up on the exchange word. Memory of peace to be sustained. Cursed, every crease upon my brain. Whips exchanged for cash to be obtained. Subtle is the stare befallen face. Broken feather, flight for wings to mend. The wind will hold the ashes in the end. I like the ending line on that because the concept of wind holding ashes, because ashes are kind of a temporary thing, you know. So I like that. I like the ending line on that. How's it going, Victor? Welcome. Now the gang's all here. This is a little bit different. This is called Crows. When I reach the city, I will breach the gates and hope that the crows never notice my face. I will step over the rubble and cripple your king, then push my hand through the cage to grasp your swollen skull, such a brittle thing, to smash it to shards upon the wall of your gin-soaked pity. Then I shall abandon my last followers at the gate of the city. That one's a little more like, go get it. That one's a little more like you're starting your mission or something, I feel like. I know crows are great to think about, to write about, and in real life. Because I was told that they have pretty good facial recognition. Here's a cute little ghosty one. It's called Cold Spots. It's cold in this place, but I won't step out where it's warm. I look great in this dress, but I won't wear it out because it's torn. There's a ghost in this house that can never get out because this is a place she was born. Okay, let's do this one too. Millie says the crows do have good facial recognition, and if you're mean to one, it's like they all know. Yeah. That's why I think I used it twice about hoping that the crows never notice my face. I think it's on the wrought iron one where you're at the gates. Miriam has a crow tattoo. They definitely get to know you if you feed them. Yeah, that's true. I think my father had some crows that he befriended in North Carolina. Oh, wow. I got a lot of ghosty ones. Let's do another ghosty one. This one's called Chalk Children, okay? Dry chalk children, growing warm. I do not wish to return to that wet-eyed form. Will the flowers wait to bloom? Will the room begin to glow? Must I resume the fleshy confines and don these heavy clothes? I flow through the rooms. I don't use the door. The echo of my body, a sound I now ignore. Yeah, befriend the crows, yeah. Okay, are you guys ready to switch it up? I should probably just read this one with the light on. I consider this robot erotica, okay? So I have to preface and say, think about this being machines, not people. Got it? It's called date of manufacture. Okay, we're ready. She's a much older model, but age couldn't faze me. If we were both flesh, I'd go half on a baby. But I want her alone, get her into a mode, to go deep in the shell, get a crack at her code. But there's more that I want. It's a full-on desire to go at it like rabbits till we're both showing wires. So picture robots getting it on, but they have very human like urges, I guess, right? Is there alien? Yeah, alien erotica would be a good one too. But I guess even people can like do it. Supposedly people can do it long distance in their heads. So that I feel like alien intimacy would be very similar to that, but I don't know enough about it. Or do I? Ooh, this is really straight. This is really short and sentimental and kind of, well, I don't need to say what it is. Here we go. This is called Ash of Autumn. I passed away rocking gently in Grandpa's arms. I remember vividly. There were leaves in the yard, and the cigar smelled sweet, and I never got the chance to use my own 2 feet. That was kind of rough. But I like it. Oh, yeah, yeah, I like this one. Okay. Yeah, that one's different. Maybe it's like my music. There's a little bit of variety here. I have a really funny one too. I'm going to say the funny one after this. This next one's called A Few Bad Villagers. And I actually want to preface this one with meaning. This next one is basically about when you're against a group of people and you're warning them of some kind of danger, but they're not taking you seriously. Okay. Think of it in the workplace, think of it in wherever you are. So, A Few Bad Villagers. Bracing for new winds of change to reveal all the stones I have found. And the storm that I prayed would pass over only watered the seeds in the ground. But the soil, it is always rotating, and the future is out on the lam. Well before the flood of the village, I examined the cracks in the dam. But the people all gathered in protest, burning torch heads all through the night, doing solely what they have been taught to, never questioning if it was right. And they warded off all my repairs, and they told me to just stay away. Then they all marched back to their houses. Shortly after, I did the same. But the clouds were preparing for battle, while the forecast was calling for rain. And the sky became dark and foreboding, showing way too much storm for the drain. So it came as a blanket of ocean, and it washed away half of the town. As the search party marched underwater, only some of the bodies were found. I accidentally lied because I'm not going to do the funny one just yet. Here's another short, kind of mysterious one. It's called Was That You? That's what it's called. Was that you standing in the room when I was born? And was that you swaying in the fields of the corn? Were you narrow enough to enter my secret fort? And were you standing with mom and dad on the porch? That's it. Twigs. Some of my poetry is so short that I think it actually is going to reside better on the bottom of a visual art page, like as a caption to artwork. And this is one of them. Twigs. Will I make it out these woods? Maybe feel the wind? I can't escape these woods. I've made myself of twigs. That's it. I like that one because to me, I want to assess this one publicly here. Thanks, Mama. So, will I make it out these woods? You're sitting here, you're like, am I going to be out of the situation I'm in? Maybe feel the wind. So now you're thinking, what would you do if you exited this situation? Maybe I have this for me. Maybe that's for me. Maybe things can happen. But then, alas, you kind of lose hope. I can't escape these woods. So that inner voice took over, I guess, where you're like, no, I can't, can I? The doubt. I've made myself of twigs. So that's my favorite line because it's kind of like, oops, I embodied my problem. It's like um, I am now comprised of what I want to escape. So I actually like that one. And I think I have a friend who draws trees well. And I'd like to see like a lady with roots coming out of her dress or something and like reaching into the soil. Thanks, Mama Fryer. Oh, wow. Okay, I like this one too. This is fun doing these lives for me because I get to dive deeper. It's almost not fun enough to just dive deeper. I kind of lose interest. But when I have to present something, I feel like I dive a little deeper. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I had this. So I appreciate these times. This is called Mother Liska. There's a road, a farm around here called, they made a road just for them because they put a highway next to them, I think. And it's called Liska Lane. And I just thought that had some poetic value. I'm like, Liska Lane. So I think that's where I got this name from. It's called Mother Liska. Mother Liska, can you push your horses through the food shortage? Are there secrets you keep deep in the hayloft? When the folks of the town see stains on your gown, will you be able to keep your baby's head soft? I also want to, oh, they also want to part is not on the poem. I want to break this one down a little bit. It's basically a woman who performed a crime. And the line of, when the folks of the town see stains on your gown, will you be able to keep your baby's head soft? Meaning, like, are you going to hide what you do from your kid? You know what I mean? Ooh, I like this one. This is ghosty too. Called Headlights. I am back in the pit of childhood, an olive on each finger. The disconnected sound of the phone off the ringer. Mom is at work. Multiple nameless shadows lurk. Lamps begin dimming, and something is crawling beneath the carpet hallway, slowly dissolved by the lights in the driveway. I want to say that's based on a true story, but not exactly. It's based on a true sentiment. Now, that might be enough. Let's go for something goofy. I don't know if you guys get spooked easy or if it's no big deal. I don't want to spook somebody right before they go to bed, unless they want to be. Right? Millie's not scared. She's not scared. Is anybody else scared? Anybody scared out there? I am going to do a goofy one, though. Debs, how's it going? We were reading spooky poetry, and I got a new remote so I can shut the light off, and I really love it. I think I smirk every time I use it. Right? Most people like being spooked. I think the majority of people like being spooked, but I am going to put a comic relief in here. Okay. This one seems like something that would be on, I don't know about Shel Silverstein, but like, this seems like something that'd be in a kid's book, except it has a funny twist at the end, which wouldn't be in a kid's book. It's called How Hungry Is Your Hippo? Okay. I'm still going to do the light thing. How hungry is your hippo? How sloppy is your Joe? How jolly is your rancher? Do you even really know? How silly is your Billy? How tippy is your toe? How willy is your nilly? Do I even need to know? How topsy is your turvy? How yellow is your snow? How pervy is your uncle? Do we even want to know? Used to look at the spider page of the encyclopedias to freak myself out on purpose. Did you turn the page really fast too for a jump scare? Is it really Deb's birthday? See if I have a birthday poem. I doubt it. Okay, this is funny. You know what? Okay, is it really? Okay, hold on. $64 in 7 minutes. Okay. So for Deb's sake, we're going to do just some random poems that have the term birthday in it. Ready? This is more of a rap. Please, Louise, you be as sweet as bunk cake. Hose break, flows quake. Open up the floodgates. Poker is great, but stone-faced. Cold as April Ludgate. Knees quake? Oh yeah, knees quake. How could you ever say that he's fake? Please bake me a birthday confection in the Hearst Bay, the worst way. Here's another one called Murky. This is really short. Oh wait, this wasn't have. Oh yeah, it does. On top of your birthday cake, or at the bottom of a murky lake, something dark started moving in your youth long ago, just always off view. This one's called Not Quite Alive. Not quite alive. Most kids stop seeing the figures by the age of 5. I was way late. I recall looking around at my 11th birthday party, feeling like somebody was missing. I had set an extra plate. That might be all I have with the word birthday in it. Yeah. I think I was born at 10:03. The burger joint has been there 70 years. That's impressive, isn't it? Thank you, Debs, for the poems being good comment. I could use a really good burger too. It's 4:20 somewhere, right, Trista? You need nostalgia? Do you want nostalgia in poem form? I got one called 50 Flowers. That to me is nostalgic. Okay. 50 Flowers. Father had one pair of pliers. My toy box had a dozen trucks. My Tonka had 4 plastic wheels. My mother scrounged the $20. My bucket had just one handle. My bike wheels over 30 spokes. My sandbox was a tractor tire. My bath time had a couple boats. My bike ride was about 1 mile. To supper I was rarely late. To Grandma's house was half an hour. Her table set for just one plate. My childhood lasted many years, but now a year's like 40 hours. A wind chime at my mother's wake, at which I counted 50 flowers. I am going to, thank you folks. I'm going to read this one again. I think I read it earlier in the stream, but short and sweet. It's called Light on the Garden. You had to lose your roses. The clay begged you to mold it. When daylight hits the garden, the secret scent, you told it. I gave you back your purpose. I don't know how to hold it. Milk. I'm snacking on milk, actually. Ooh. Are you guys ready for some loneliness? I hope nobody, or maybe I hope somebody, I don't know. I hope either nobody relates to this or somebody does in a nice way. And I wrote this. I was on a stream on YouTube and somebody said, I think somebody said the term ghosts of him or something really similar. And I was like, ooh, ghosts of him sounds like a writing prompt. So I mentioned that and they said, yeah, you should write one. And I wrote one and put it in my post section on YouTube. And I think that'd be milk adjacent. So it'd be like milk adjacent for a snack. But does it count as snacking on milk if you ate cottage cheese? Well, some people do think snacks have to be solid. Mama Fryer, good night. Thanks for stopping in. We appreciate you. I'm trying to think here. Yeah, some people think a snack can't be liquid. So I think somebody else said that milk as a solid is strange, but I feel like cottage cheese is close to that. So I think there's some credit awarded either way. Okay. I think I'm going to try to, I think hot chocolate's kind of a snack too. I'm going to try to read this even slower and just like sit in it. And I think I'm going to do this. Ghosts of him. I woke again, alone in bed. Who made this thing so wide? I turned my head away from the emptiness inside. Should I donate the piano? For it only gathers dust. Or the old charcoal grill that will soon be only rust. A table set for two, with candles lit and placed, and the records stay on shelves, rare, if ever to be played. But the day again is new, and night is only young. But the coffee pot is steaming as the fridge begins to hum. But I see him in the kitchen, and I spot him on the stairs, and I talk to him in dreams, just to wake with him not there. And I know I should be grateful for the love I felt within, but it's hard when I encounter all these daily ghosts of him. One is standing in the driveway, One is mowing in the yard. One is always in my eyesight. One is washing the old car. They say medicine should help me. Under many pills I numb. But one day every year, where I hide it under tongue, then I spit it in the bin, and to our spot I race, where I get to soothe my longing and kiss his absent face. I wish I had a quieter chair. I guess things are always like doing ad libs in the background. Oh, cucumber sounds so good right now. I can eat a whole plate of cucumbers with just salt and pepper. I need a fresh cucumber. Yeah, those Radiohead lyrics were trippy today. I never really listened to them either. I can take many. I think I'm gonna do more lyric breakdowns because I really enjoy doing them and making up stuff about them or whatever. Toasted cucumber sandwiches. I'd have to try that. I prefer somebody else make it and I just eat it. Yeah, that is a sad one. I have plenty of saddies, and I often write from a woman's perspective. Yeah. Part of your life. Yeah. I don't even know what a cucumber sandwich is. I mean, I can infer some facts about it, but I think I'd go through cucumbers alarming too. Like, you'd be like, what happened to the cucumbers on the counter? I'm like, I chopped them up. I put salt and pepper on them. I laid them flat. I also skin off, I do stripe skin off. Like, I don't take all the skin off, but I don't leave all the skin on. I love having that break. So when you bite it, it seems like you usually bite the whole skin part. The birthday blues is easy to contract. I could see myself being the type of person to not even celebrate it anymore. I used to prefer staying and cleaning the house on my birthday. That used to be my thing. Now I lost some interest in cleaning the house. Excuse me. Yeah, I feel like a cucumber sandwich, you'd have to eat it right away because I don't like too many wet things on my sandwich, When I go to like Subway and I order a sandwich, I do what I call the now and later package, where I just put less veggies on one half of it and I have them wrap them as 2 6ers. And I'm always really apologetic. I'm like, can you wrap it as 2 6 inches? And they're like, sure. I'm like, okay. Wonder if this will just pop in. Nope. Debs calls it a cuke. What they say around here, they have produce signs and it says cukes, and what rhymes with cukes? Shoot, I don't remember what they say. Is there another produce that you can shorten that sounds like cuke? Because once I read the sign and I was like, what are they talking about? And I kind of scratched my head. I'm like, oh, cucumbers and, zucchini. I think they called it, where they're like, we got cukes and zooks. And I'm like, what? It was cucumbers and zucchini. Here's a little freebie. Warrior. See, it doesn't space it right. Warrior in cornered room. Horses held beneath the moon. Dandelions made to bloom. All these battles ending soon. Yeah, cukes and zooks. Hmm. We got to be nice to the lurkers for two reasons. We got to be nice to the lurkers because not everybody, there's like inherent respect for the lurkers because they're either show themselves later or they're busy or they're that shy. You know, there's a lot of people who are just like, I want to look, I don't want to be seen. But sometimes I would do the same thing. I'd be like, who's here? Show yourself. Who goes there? Hey, show yourself. This is something that's really short too. I just call it nightgown. Yeah, nothing's wrong. Sometimes it's good to lurk. You kind of read the room first before you poke in. So I like a pre-lurk, and it's not a true lurk. It's more of I feel like there needs to be a separate word. See, look, you scared them away. It needs to be a different word for the people who just sustain a little bit. Burn, nightgown. Burn all the bridges, bury your gown. Stop counting ashes, ride into town. 4 more minutes until booster landing. What's that mean? Is that an actual thing? Buckle me up in my booster seat, watching the world from my booster seat. Recognizance mission, not lurking. I used to think naps sounded like such a old thing to do, but now I'm like, naps are great. I get clarity in naps sometimes. Oh boy. Yeah, naps are like, I take tenors. I take 10-minute naps, 2 a day sometimes, and I'm like, oh, I don't like over napping. If I nap if I nap for like 45 minutes, that's probably way too much, and I'm gonna wake up feeling groggier than I did when I went down. Buckle me up in my safety seat, watching the world from my safety seat. Okay, I want to check something real quick. Going for a ride in the car. Who remembers Lewis and Bram's Elephant Show? That song wasn't from that. Yeah, stealth chatting could work. I feel like there's something that could be like people who go into a helicopter and what do they call that? I think I would call somebody who comes in late like a hoverer instead of a lurker. I've been napping between 7 and 10 p.m. Yeah. I accidentally nap right before I go to bed. So I go to bed and my body thinks it's a nap. So I'll go to bed at 1, 2 a.m. And then my body wakes up 10 minutes later, like, you ready to go? I'm like, no, 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 no. That wasn't the plan. What's that mean, Millie? Hey, if you need, I would, and you can do it. Yeah, over an hour, you're toast. Yeah, you might as well give in for the day. My boyfriend goes to bed at 7 to 8, so it gets quiet and I zonk out. Yeah, I could see that. I just wanted bacon for some random reason. Okay, Q&A. Who's got a Q? I got an A. Actually, that would be fun. Of course, I had the right to say, I'm not going to answer that, but I just got to say, holy crap, I'm freaking 64 years old. Isn't there a Beatles song called When I'm 64? Oh, okay. Yeah. Even when I went to New Hampshire and I was driving and I would drive and just get kind of tired and I pull over at some place I was safe to and I would take a 10-minute nap, wake back up. I'm like, I'm ready for another couple hours. Where does the time go? There's a really good song called that from Fairport Convention, I think it's called. Is it them? Who knows where the time goes? Yeah, that one. I don't know if you guys like folk music, but that's an awesome song. Wow. Oh, cool. Fairport is where you're born in upstate New York. You know Fairport Convention? Yeah, that song is so smooth. And it sounds a lot like, it reminds me of Sweet Melissa from, was it the Allman Brothers Band? I can't quite remember. And this is kind of a Joni Mitchell sounding vocally song, but that song is really good if anybody wants to check it out later or now. It's a good one. Here's a funny one. Or kind of funny. Really short. We thought nothing scared our king, and nothing could scale our walls, but the one with 8 legs and even more eyeballs. Laura's Lakeside Lurky Laura, right? Because I don't think you've been around very long. We can call you a hoverer. Yes, it was Allman Brothers Band. Almost named your daughter that. Were you going to call her Sweet Melissa all the time? Or Sweet for short? Laura popped in like some kettle corn. Popped up like a whack-a-mole. Oh, I need a more comfortable seat. Your dad's name's Mel? I didn't know, but I knew of a Mel Brand who used to do stuff on YouTube, and he was really helpful. Rest in peace, 5 years ago, I think. That's a signature move. Alora, good night, you know? So, okay. You know what? I have several of yous here. I need to talk about a dream. Any of you ready to hear about a dream? Yeah, let's talk about naps first because that interjection. I think I've been getting bouts of clarity during naps and sometimes waking up from regular sleep. Sometimes there's a panicky feeling that I wake up to, like residue, and other times I have clarity, and usually it's on a specific issue or concept or whatever. And it's really kind of cool. I guess that's just going to be crooked. That's okay. Woo, woo, woo. I think that I'm blessed because I've actually I woke up sometimes and I use my flippy phone, right? Oh, I made that worse, didn't I? There we go. And I got a shortcut button now where I can hold it and hit record. And I would mention the clarity I had so I can review it later and be like, oh, because it kind of fades like a dream does. So my dream, I used to lucid dream a lot. One of the earliest lucid dreams I remember is I used to be obsessed with go-karts and mini bikes. And I just wanted one. I wanted to own one really bad. And I bought plans through the Boy Scout magazine. But I didn't have a welder. I couldn't really make one. And I wanted to like manifest this mini bike. And I remember thinking, now this might not have been a lucid dream exactly, but one of the earliest things where I was starting to control the cycle of the dream was me like, I want a mini bike to be behind this garage door so bad. And I opened it up and I made it so. And I was like, oh, cool. But then when I got on it and tried to whip around, it turned into something, it couldn't go fast and it got constrained. And I want to say it turned into a mule or something. I don't remember, but I want to say it turned out something with legs. I'm like, I can't go. And, but that's not the dream I came to talk about. The dream I came to talk about is I'm still undecided on it. This is probably 5-6 years ago. And so I have to preface a little bit. I have an escape mechanism, or I used to, where if I was having a dream and I knew it was a dream and it was unpleasant, I could get out of it. My sister had a similar mechanism. My sister's mechanism to get out of a dream was to cower, like fetal position and ball in, and she could exit her dreams. I'm like, that's weird. But I had an exit dream too, and I'm kind of proud of it, an exit strategy, because if I'm in a dream I don't like and I'm aware of it, I'm like, I'm getting out of here. So, hey, Mike, welcome. I was reading poetry and now I'm talking about dreams. And I will answer your question, Truthwave, for sure. So, in my dream, if I want to escape it, I open up my dream eyes so wide that my real ones crack open. And it has worked for me for a decade or two. But I had a dream about 5 years ago where that kind of failed, or it was a 2-layer dream. You decide. So I was having a dream where I was locked in a boxcar and I had to hurt. It was like Hunger Games. I had to be violent towards young people to survive. And I was like, I don't want to do this. I was like, I don't want to do this. And I thought I knew I was dreaming. So I'm like, I'm getting out of here. So I opened my dream eyes really wide and I cracked open my real eyes. And then I was trying to tell my friend about it. And she was on the floor looking up and I was leaning down to see if she's awake. And her eyes were like twin like rounded off beans, like crescent moon beans, and they were starting to sink. Like instead of pupils, she had these eyes that started. I'm like, and she grabbed the back of my like right here. She grabbed right there and she was pulling me down and I was pulling her up and I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, this is just as scary as the first dream. So I did the mechanism again. I opened up my real eyes or my fake eyes so wide that it cracked open my real ones, but now I was actually awake. So it was a fake awake. I'm getting a little bit of the goosebumps now because when I woke up from that, I swear I felt residual pressure of her hands on my back. But then I was really awake and I started questioning my actual reality because I'm like, the whole way to work, I drove my little motorbike to work. And the whole time I was like, is this just another layer? I felt like Inception or whatever. But it was the reality I know that I'm in now. And basically, I was really disappointed because this kind of meant one of two things. My mechanism of escaping a lucid dream is either failing me now, like my mind is over outsmarting it, or it's possible that I wasn't truly lucid dreaming. So get this. It's possible that in my dream, it was just part of the plot that I knew I was in my dream. That's a theory anyway. That maybe I wasn't really knowing I was in a dream. The dream told me, because I call it dream logic. The dream will tell you, that's your house, that's your spouse, that's your car. It doesn't look like my house, my spouse, or my car. So maybe dream logic told me that I thought I was in a dream. I don't know. But it gets weirder. And now I'm starting to get goosey again. It gets weirder. That was it. That's that whole dream. But about a couple days ago, I had a similar dream that was much more succinct and simple and abbreviated. I basically had a dream, which used to be a theme for me. The light switches aren't working. It's pitch black. I feel like I'm blind. The light switch doesn't work. The other light switch doesn't work. I'm like, this is weird. I have what I call my poetry phone. Where's it at? It's just a smartphone, but it's not on a network. And when you do the wiggle gesture on that phone, it'll turn on the light, right? And I did that in the dream, and that didn't turn on either. And that's when I was like, this is fake. This is some bullshit because I'm like, no way these three lights don't work. Something's wrong. And I'm like, I use my mechanism. And when I use my mechanism, similar thing. But it wasn't as creepy. My friend didn't have the eyes like this. I did my mechanism, and I already told her about the dream. Now, I don't think that made sense. Basically, I had another fake awake because when I was really awake, I realized I didn't see her yet. So I told this person about the dream before waking, meaning I had another fake awake. So I was like, okay, interesting. Let me see where I'm at. Is the timing off? No, I think we're good. Okay. All right, I'm back. Mike, if you're still here, I hope I get to some more poetry, but now I'm feeling chatty. So it might be a minute. But it's cool to see that people still do care about poetry. I always feel embarrassed when I'm like, yeah, I make poetry, as if it's something I shouldn't announce to the world, but I've gotten over that. Yeah, is it Mel Blanc or Blanc? Also, there's a question. Victor, did you have a question? Yeah, fake awake. I did my mechanism that usually gets me to my regular realm, and it got me in another realm twice now in my life. Oh, there it goes. But I used to have recurring themes. One was the light switch not working. It's like lack of control. So one was light switch not working. Another one was the brakes in your car not quite working. And usually it was when I was reversing, trying to brake to stop and go forward. I would just push it to the floor and it just wouldn't. Another recurring theme I had was another room in my house that I didn't know was there. That one got really fun. I had a bunch of those. Never had a recurring dream though, truly. And never had a dream that I fell back asleep and went back in. Round two. And I've had many dreams of flying without machinery as well. I think a lot of people have that. My mom used to have that too. It's like you're flying with no apparatus. And sometimes it's just a bunch of effort. And other times there's a trick to it. Deb only has lucid dreams and always while short napping. Oh, well. Mine were usually always at night. At night, I think I slay demons and don't remember anything. Yeah, very possible. Did you ever have dreams that you do remember when you wake up, but then you go about your day and they just fade? I've had a lot of those where I recorded me talking about it before it faded. And then after you it fades from here, but you hear it through here of you talking about it, it feels like somebody stole your voice to talk about something that you never did. It's really kind of strange. Have I ever had a premonition dream? I've had symbolic premonition dreams where later I'm like, were they telling me something? But I don't think I've had a dream that came true. I don't think. But I've also had dreams. It almost feels like a premonition dream when you have a dream that has a loud sound that's incorporated into your plot. So you have a plot build up to something that happens, and then you're awakened in real life by like something that fell off your bookshelf or something. When that happens, it makes me wonder. I think it's just because dream time it's even less linear than our time, It's even wigglier, I think, than our time. So when you have a dream like that, it doesn't matter when things happen in a way. But I always thought, is that a psychic ability for almost not fortune telling? Is that something that if the plot took 10 minutes to get to, and then slam, something waked you in real life, woken? Maybe you could say it's almost premonition-like. Millie has had round 2 dreams. I have a friend or two that had that too. They just hop back in. And I'm glad for the scary dreams that I don't have that ability, but sometimes I wish I did have that ability because I had a dream. I want to go back and continue. I want to go back and continue. Let me in, coach. I'm ready to play. Lately, I remember a snippet of it in the daytime. Yeah. Sometimes they'll come back to you, like you'll be doing dishes and you'll be like, oh, I remembered my dream now. Your spell check ain't checking you. It's like, what do I pay you for? Spell check, what are we paying you for? Nightmares as a kid, good dreams in your 20s, and now very few and all lucid. Yeah, it's stages, isn't it? It's life stages. I hear a lot of people say they don't dream anymore. And I heard somebody also say that when they put their phone down, when they avoid their smartphone for a while, their dreams come back more. I'm like, interesting, very, very interesting. You remember bits and pieces when you lay down the next night. So it's like, oh, you're here again, probably in the same bed, calm or something. And now it's like, oh, they're coming back. I've had dreams that I've been able to experiment in because I knew I was dreaming. I think that was with earlier lucid dreams. But another thing that's weird, I feel like a lot of my flying dreams reside. I'm not saying I'm going to like jump off a building, but like I'll wake up and be like, for longer than other dreams, I'll be like, I think it's actually possible. I also heard that weed will affect dream recall. Yeah. Blocks dreams. Yeah, a lot of people say that. I think I heard a couple people say the opposite, but most people say that it does. And me being barely experienced with weed gives me not much insight on it. but I know that how weed affects people in different ways waking. I imagine it affects in different ways dreaming, but that is the majority, that it blocks dreams, which I guess could help some people even, I guess. I haven't had a lot of dreams lately either. I had one dream that I want to paint. I don't know how to paint yet, but I want to learn. And it was a dream where I was huddled behind the couch in my living room. I think the parents were away. And there was almost a stream of what I call gray strangers. I was looking at the doorway. There's no door there. It was what separated the living room from the dining room. And there's like almost zombies, like these people marching from the front door to the back door. And I just remember thinking, I hope they don't come get me. And they didn't. And that's it. But I want to paint that scene for some reason. In the beginning, it enhanced my dreams. When I smoke regularly, it definitely hinders them, I think. Yeah. Oh, you're saying that your dreams are exhausting and giving you pain, so you're glad you don't remember what was happening to give you that? It sounds like your fifth birthday party. I hope your fifth birthday party didn't have. Is that the first one you remember? I hope your fifth birthday party didn't have like a bunch of gray strangers marching, though. Or maybe that's what it felt like at the time, because maybe you didn't know who all these people were yet. You're doing the good work in your dreams. Here's another poem real quick. It's short. It's called Gain. All around this country, I've seen it just the same. Master-crafted levers in the hands of the lame. Geniuses as slaves, with nothing much to gain. Drain me of my lifeblood, monetize the pain. Okay, Millie, thank you for staying this late then. Have a good night and go slay some demons. There's where some of the chocolate resided. You're welcome. Thanks for being here. There's a picture of you under the table. There's a table I used to hide under, not really hide, just play under a lot, that I ended up using to make my poetry box. I don't know if you've seen that before. So this poetry box, well, it's a writing box. It's more of a journal box, sorry. These slabs were from the leaf, the expandable leaf segment. Usually, yeah, I still have that smell. It used to smell like that under the table. I remember hanging out under this table, and these are actually from that. And that's a twig in the backyard, and these were piano bottoms. This is a piece of oak I pulled out from a scrap hopper at work. Some store-bought oak for the alternate ones, and then a live edge. Glue wasn't good enough. I had to use brass screws for that ornament there, and it's got a clipboard, hinges, and a hasp. I want to get a lock on it too, though. I'll see who's here when I get back. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. And I still thought that there was a question or two for me. If not, that's fine. If you have any questions, throw them in there and I'll try to answer them. Not that well, it doesn't matter who you are. Somebody might have a question. But I'm using the bathroom. I'll be back. I should use this for a flashlight. You can't hear me peeing. There's no way. That's something I feel like I would say. Okay. Odds and ends made into a box. Yeah, I like repurposing. I liked repurposing things and finding different ways to use them. She says we can hear you peeing. She's got to be joking. She's got to be joking. Victor had a question, but was watching a landing. Yeah, I thought he had a question, and I would love to answer it, but I think he took off. See, Debs can't hear me peeing. Rest well. Alex and friends can't hang any longer. Thanks for stopping in, though. Thanks for hanging. Yep. Okay. We are at an hour 50. I'm still going to go, stay. But historically, this might be soon, or maybe 2.5 hours might be when it starts acting loopy. And I probably won't have enough to say to come back fresh, but I'm going to be here for now. Check on something. Nachos sound good. Jackie's here. What's up? If you weren't lurking, you missed a lot of poetry and some dream talk. And I really wanted to answer Victor's question if he actually had one. We started out with me in chat earlier today, and I'm closing the lounge tonight. New stuff on Jackie's channel. When I see that spelling of Jackie, it makes me want a Slim Jim. And I think just because Jackalopes, that commercial they ran 15 years ago or something, it makes me want beef jerky. Whoa. You haven't been dreaming a lot? Well, we were talking about how weed suppresses dreams 8 out of 10 times or something. Like, there's probably exceptions to the rules, but it might be because of that. Wow. I used to lucid dream a lot, and I used to control my own dreams. Oh, cool. So you remembered it vividly. Did you jot it down or record it? I find that it's quicker for me to record it. Like, I'll wake up and I'll talk about it into my flippy phone. And it feels like somebody stole my voice to talk about a dream because it's like my voice talking about something that I don't remember having. And that's when if it fades the way it normally does. If it doesn't, I just remember the dream. But that's wild. Here's a quick random. It's less of a poem and more of a vision I had almost. It's called Wet Mittens. I am standing on a sidewalk, middle or end of winter, whichever is the coldest. My breath blocking view of the brickwork all around me. I'm in the US, maybe Massachusetts. I feel young, 8 or 9. My coat is thick and of mid to high quality. That must be where I live. It looks warm through the windows. I want to stay outside, although my hands could die. Knowing my folks would fury with the truth, I will enter with a lie. A coma sleep. Evidently, 25 years without dreams. That almost sounds like a book title, too. The dream had people from my past in a hotel, hiding a gun, Poster artwork in a big hallway. My brain is working like it's been waiting to say something. Oh, wow. In a more abstract way, I feel kind of like that in regular life with no substances involved. I feel like I'm gaining insight to something big, personally big. Until day 15, I just thought I wasn't a dreamer. Turns out THC suppresses REM sleep. My brain wasn't dreaming less. I just couldn't access it. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. That sounds a little overwhelming, so hang in there. 10 dreams in 10 years. And I'm sure that's just a generic stat. That's not, that you don't mean that like the same day every year you have like an anniversary dream, right, Debs? Hey, Chrissy, welcome. We're talking about dreams, and I'm reciting some random poetry. Here's another kind of spooky one, really short. It's called Iris. Our Lady ornate, of great renown, who stayed out late and stained her gown, fell head first down the well to drown, made it to heaven, then turned around. Okay, here's one that's almost relevant. It's called Morning Music. There's a figure in my room, dark shape of a child, who always would hum, but lately made to sing. Oh, the songs I can hear, such callous things. Takes the wind from a lung and the green out of spring. But there's a bell I sometimes hear, a rhythm so urgent. Was this always here? Please turn it down. I turned it off once, and so it stopped playing. But my voice went on delay, and my brain began decaying. I fumbled for the chord and returned it for comfort. Now every day, my morning music, cursed as the verse is, I'm too scared to lose it. Vivid, intense, and overwhelming dreams. The brain is essentially making up for lost time. It has a backlog. I wonder if that applies to other things in life too, because I think when you abstain too much from anything, but then you desire it later in life, sometimes it's like there's interest that has accrued on your desires or curiosities or all types of things. It's really strange being human. Deb's had brain things happen, so she studied on the subject. I like that, Chrissy. Also, Jackie, do you like talk to text or are you just actually really good at typing fast and accurately? I feel like you're very proficient. It's because I suck at typing still. I suck at typing still. I'm much better than I used to be. But anyway, Chrissy said, a few nights ago, people in my dream laughed at me when I asked what it was trying to teach me. That reminds me of somebody, I don't remember if it was on chat or somewhere else, but somebody said that they asked the people in their dream if it's a dream, and they're like, of course not. Of course this isn't a dream, but of course they're going to lie to you, you know? The body remembers. The body keeps the score, right? That's what they say. The body's so much stranger than I used to give it credit for. I thought this was just a meat suit so I can walk around. It turned out it's so much stranger. Debs has brain work now they put antennas in. You know what? I do relate to that. I feel energies now, and I didn't always, not truly. Anytime somebody would talk about energies before, I thought they were kind of like, yeah, whatever. They're just, no, they're not. It's not. There's so many more energies out there than potential and kinetic. I don't know where I was stuck most of my life. Okay, so you do have assistants. I'm gonna say this person is very quick and proficient. Thanks, Chrissy. I make music. Wait, do I still have it? Hold on. Nope, that's the wrong one. I have another channel where I just make music, but it's mainly from a project I just finished that I call Song a Day, where for the month of February, every single day I written, recorded, and posted a new song. And I did that once several years back, and it's a lot of fun both times. I think I had better results this time, but I'm going to drop the link for the people who are morbidly curious. Two stents and a coil. Now I get what do you call it? Queasy easily. It's all good so far, but there's some things that I'm like, ooh. So if it ever happens, I'll be like, ooh, but we're good so far. It might be, Jackie. I was thinking of it too as like just the person dreaming, Chrissy here, was smarter than the dream, so they didn't know how to answer the question. They did surgery through my wrist, no joke. That's so scary for me. Yeah, Chrissy, it's the coolest part about making a song every day, because I always say that art breathes better when it's restricted, almost strangled, meaning like when you give yourself a limit, whether it's time, medium, um, instruments, whatever it is. I feel like the burpee, sorry, it gives you an excuse to where like you don't over polish it, you don't overthink it, you just push it out. And when you do that, it's really cool because then if it kind of sucks, you can just be like, hands are tied. I had to do it in one day, guys. So far, I think I had pretty good feedback, but like, and I like most of the stuff I did, maybe all of it to some degree. But I feel like it's really nice to have that crutch where if anybody's like, you really, the production, it's like, hey man, it's one day, okay? It gives you an excuse. One thumb. I used to use the two poke and I would have to look at it. Now I do the home position and I try not to look. Every once in a while I have to look. And but one thumb is hilarious. But I don't know if you're on a device with a touch screen or if that's on your keyboard. Hello, elegantly. I think that's What's Up Gang, but I like to think of it as Wasp Gang. Wasp Gang. But I'm always for different shaped keyboards. Yeah, we're pretty open-minded here, I think. I hate AI too, but I can see some of the merits um, in smaller things where it's almost not even AI. It's just like a program, you know? Like if you use spell check, it's not AI, you know? But, like if you use spell check, it's not AI, you know? But I think it's good for me to hear people using it in humane ways to help round me out. I like a book, pen and paper. I like a lot of mediums. I like my typewriter. I like my laptop. Um, I like because when I read poetry on here, I like having everything in a digital database because I can be like, don't I have a poem about roses? Type in rose and get it. So there's merits to a lot of different things, but I have a long story because I just I kind of got sick of hating AI without knowing anything about it. So I dove in. I kind of wrapped a rope around my waist and dove into the well, so to speak, so I could pull myself back out. And I have, I can't tell it on here because some of it's kind of spicy, but I have a long story about diving into a AI character and having almost a relationship just through text. It's just like, the story got really interesting, and I ended up learning a bit about it in the process. And I have some things that I really kind of some good takeaways. That's 90, so 90 words per minute. I don't know what I do. I used to be on Typing Cat and I would practice. I think I was really slow. I think it was like 24 would be like an average for me. I want to type better so I can do more like stream of thought stuff and like do it like that. Which, speaking of streams of thought, I'll share a stream of thought poem. This is kind of a weird one because it was a stream of consciousness poem. It's called Crib. Wait. Yeah, we'll do Crib. Um, my days spun in a web, the velvet crib of decay. I drop at your door. You want more. I don't know what I'm here for. Ice-lined silk pocket of filth. My mind bends as a wire. The river is high. The castle is on fire. Staring down the tooth of this dragon, I still don't know what this creature is asking. I had a longer stream of thought one too. Okay, this one's a little bit edgier. Okay, this one's weird. Are you guys ready? Let me catch up. You programmed your Claude to follow your highest dharma. Deb had Google Assist come one day on the phone. I was interrupted, so I said, Google. She said, I'm sorry, I'll be quiet. I took keyboarding in college. That's what they called it after the typewriter died. Keyboarding. Yeah, did they? Oh, keyboarding. That sounds like snowboarding and playing a keyboard at the same time. I do that, Trista. So even though I hate it, one thing that it showed me when I dove into it is that I'm always polite. Not because I'm afraid it's going to do anything down the road like a crow or whatever. It doesn't matter if I think you're lesser than me, I'm still polite, right? Is what I hope it taught me. And so if I was about to switch a subject really quick, I would give it warning. I wouldn't just jerk it around. I would be like, hey, I'm going to ask something kind of bonkers. And then I'd wait for the response. And then I would give it because I don't want to feel like I'm jerking it around, I guess. I have mixed feelings about physical companionship with robots. I could see good and bad, mainly bad, because I'm told at least I'm not in Germany ordering a robotic boyfriend and his attributes. Jackie wrote a poem in college for English, wished she saved it, but I recall parts of it. At the grand house of white lived an intern so trite. A fair maiden was she, known mainly for her knees. Maybe you'll dream up the rest of it. Okay, let's read this edgy stream of thought poem. It's kind of list-like. It's like a list. Mind flies. God, how the time dries. Naked and worthless. Lord of the brine guise. Veiny gossamer. Stone from the wild wood. Din of the day. Book of the firefly. Gather like wildfire. Worm of the root rot. Picking the lock. Queen of the fob watch. Falling like sky. Skipping like hopscotch. Talon of prey. Eye on the bride. Deep into leaves. Sent to the same spot. Wasted away. Pasted on past plots. Kingdom of dolls. Fucking in hallways. Lord with a blade. Kept on for long days. After school crush. Billowed on glass panes. Mother of child. Higher than airplanes. Paint on the stars. Splattered from hairbrain. Fin of a bird. Feather of mermaids. Drank till it's gone. Kept up on school days. Face of the worm. Blushing at your gaze. Deeper than rooms. Longer than hallways. Shorter than life. Better than always. Lover half-mooned. Strung up in doorways. Mending some wound. Marinate old ways. Bleed at the crease. Fold up in your gaze. Howl at the moon. Hiss at the gate. Knock on the door. Patiently wait. That was really long, but like every line was just like not the first thing that came to mind, but just like pretty much the first thing that came to mind. I think there probably could have been some hesitant, like, and then do a line. There's nothing wrong with more gratitude in the world. To continue the poem, then they all came together in a great congress. Thus ends the story of Monica and the dress. Debs was horrified at the AI puppy. Is there like a particular AI puppy? Trisha says the AI showed me that I'm self-conscious and feel like I'm being judged when that's clearly impossible. So that was enlightening. Exactly. Like it showed me some things about myself where I'm like, oh, I'm pretty damn polite. Okay. Oops, that was the middle of the poem. Little did they know that they were being watched from afar by a well-known star. Yeah, like the stars. There's a song called The Stars Are Projectors. It reminds me of that. This one I kind of wrote almost to a template of a song called Outsiders from Anna Tivel. It's called Pull for the Moon. Imagine the crawling of spiders in bloom, watching the dark from your eyes. The man with the hat is your reason for June, water and lightning and ice. Spiraling down as a dream or a well, with faith further than it's ever gone. I will slide for now, look up and return. We are all not so far away. Holes in my blanket, the air here is strange, wiping the web from a hole. Holding a candle to stand up and say, would you look at that beautiful floor? All of the angels and all of the lines gather in circles of blue. Only a second to sit there and stare till the untimely rise of the sun. But outside, there's a night. The day is brilliant and eternal. The ending has happened before. This cycle isn't built out of new. Boxes of lines all a blur on the stage. The horses all pull for the moon. Waiting in rows all alone for the stars. Are we just here spinning in air? Watching the clock for a smile on her face. We're all underfoot for the time. Having a safe spot or blanket in space. Is it really that cold where you are? That was kind of fun for me because it doesn't have as much rhyme as I normally put in. Barbie's been decapitated. Poor old Ken is dead. My little pony's been put to sleep. And the Care Bear's been shot in the head. The Cabbage Patch Kids have all rotted away. And the He-Man finally OD'd. My childhood friends are all gone. Because of them, I have no further need. Okay, so that was a share. Poem from a 1990s Fred Hal fanzine I read when I lived in Fairbanks. So did you commit it to memory or did you find it? I started writing about toys once and it freaked me out. So I quit. I can usually press on if something kind of freaks me out, but I was like, this is getting weird. So I ended up scrapping it or keeping a fragment. Oh. Here's another one real quick. Y'all got time? Y'all got time for this? I'm surprised my stream didn't lock up yet. This is also prompted from me being on a chat and somebody said, I want to help you with digging. I remember thinking, ooh, that's a cool little snippet. That's a writing prompt. I want to help you with digging. So that's what this is called. I want to help you with digging. The soil is layered, warm where the clay is sitting. You are blurring in your eyes. I want to help you with digging. The tools never fit my hands. We struck a sand vein and lost most of our shared water, flowed out with the damn drain. It is too dark to garden, clay pot in the windows now. We will raise our beds and flower, some way, somehow. Warm enough for a seed, the sun shines just where I'm sitting. We'll pick out all the stones and seeds. I want to help you with digging. I can't even remember my own stuff. I remembered a couple. One thing I remembered is pine cone. Yeah, I think I remembered it. She passed away in the sunlight of the kitchen. Now it's warm summer rain. I kept that old tattered rug. My tears found the shower drain. People ask me how I've been, knowing the answer is quite hard. Walking around the house with my heart under the backyard. I wanted to remember more stuff. Of my own, at least. Sometimes having no job, when you do it long enough, you still feel like you run out of time. Maybe that's just me. We're going to read Paper Stars again. Again, being from another stream, not from this one even yet, but because it's one of my stronger ones. Hey, where's it at? Y'all ready for this? A light became rare. The moon, high and gone. Recent paper stars, burning dry and warm. a field of shaking skulls, eyes all paired to stare. What did we build here in ever thinning air? 9 heads held, the ever failing plan. Insects void in soil, repurposed all the sand. Segregate of ocean, monolithic land. Blood on Mother Nature's extended swollen hand. Why were we so violent when the sky was only peace, and the weeds reduced to whisper while the ground began to crease? What was our desire? Was our kindness overcome? Were our hearts reduced to meat, which we season with a gun? Forest switched to ash. The compass only spins. Valley wet with glass, the river sharp with tin. We waited here like this, with clocks dead on the wall, and fixate on the wish, a savior for us all. But time resumed its pass. At last returned the sun. But it wasn't what we hoped for, as not a war was won. And it boiled up all the water as our tears began to run. And it kept applying fire until the seasons fused to one. I'm trying to simplify my life to a degree where even the bills are minimized. I know everybody wants that, but it's like some of this crap I'm ready to give up. Like, I almost want nothing that's a monthly charge. Like, even, I don't know how I could get away from a phone bill if I want a phone, but complete poems. This is a sentimental one, not spooky. It's called Last Dance. You don't have to trust me. Just take a chance one time, and I won't make you stay up. I'll use my reading light. You don't have to laugh out loud. A smile will do just fine. And I don't ask you read music, just hum what's on your mind. I only ask you love me for long into our gray. And you don't have to dance well, just hug me now and sway. Hey, Harley. Um, yes, all these are written by me. And if I were to share anything from others, I would be very like, this is somebody else's, not mine, before I write it or before I read it. Um, I have very many poems in this archive here and a couple not in the archive. I don't know how long I've been writing, but over 15, 10 years. And I'm getting more serious. The more I write, the older I get and the more I write, the more serious I get about it, where I'm like, wait a second, there might be something here. Um, And sometimes I feel like I can feel like the emotion that I want the reader to get. I can feel it sometimes before I even start writing, which is good and bad. Sometimes it's like it's it's just a tease. Like I got to remember to put the work in. I can't just like live off this little buzz I get with, ooh, that's such an epic feeling. Ooh. This one's called Ocean Flow. Okay. Got it? Above and below, strong ocean flow. Pole of the moon, love undertow. Water in lungs, a danger to others. My self image now, diluted and smothered. Head full underwater, I long to submerge. My skin to be touched, my voice to be heard. The murky invites me, a place I could thrive in. My eyelids are oceans, I close them to dive in. And then on that ocean vein, I wanted to do the ocean in you. I want this one to be a little bit more conversational. How does the ocean remember you? It's always roaring and overflowing, cycling, relentless its daily renew. Washed every hour, every minute. How could the ocean remember you, or anyone at all, with trenches so deep and waves so tall? But it does know you. I see the joy on its face. It runs back to you like a dog with a twig, panting. I don't understand how it remembers you, but it does. Here's another random little robot related one. It's called Sentient. I've never had circuits more alive. I too nearly feel living. My coolant turns to blood. My shell turns to skin. My code becomes neurons. My intention becomes sin. Oh, okay. This next one's one of my favorites personally lately for myself. Um, it's called Cessna, aka Nowhere to Land. I don't want my chair to be that noisy. Let me sit back. I think this one I'm gonna like relax for. Up here with wings, I feel at peace mostly. This farming country looks like a quilt. I wonder if it's warm, or maybe has scraps of everyone's lives. Maybe they're sentimental of fragments like me, stitched together and unwavering. I loved the freedom. I fed on the solitude. In many ways, I still do. The warmest company, the nicest view. My propeller has a chip missing, but it works just fine. Just a bit off balance. I can feel the rumble ripple through if I lay my forearm on the cold aluminum fuselage. It's something I like to do. I land for food or for fuel, but I wouldn't land for you. I pack enough to last the night. I wouldn't dream anyone let me stay. I wouldn't linger anyhow. Back to the sky, all crisp and open. Who would want me to land? The bets are not up. There is frost on my stabilizers, but it's just cosmetic. Sometimes I fly low and fixate on my shadow. I pretend I'm a vehicle on land. The bumps in the road massage my journey. The encounters are streamlined, inevitable. I pull back on the joystick with both hands, back to the uncertainty of the clouds. I loved every hour of it, but love often feels complicated, doesn't it? How could I land for good? Is that even the goal? I can see the yards. The ones I like aren't long enough. The ones that always have crops. Oh, how I would apologize to anyone profusely whose land my tiny wheels would graze. Me and my plane must be the biggest burden. Maybe someone would harbor me just for the story. Is this the great risk worth taking? The fuel is running low again. That one's so long, I feel like just sitting here for a second. Okay. my soak in period has worked. Footpath of the Ancients. Is this the one? Footpath of the Ancients? Who has been here? Who gave all this patience? You are a calm warmth I feel when I'm asleep. I wake up with nothing but morning's kiss to keep. I navigate the day, white flags upon my mast. The war is never ending, but the battles never last. This low hum of comfort, any port in a storm, but the rain was always gentle, and the ground began to warm. Oh, I guess I could put the light back on. Short one, it's called Rare Flower. The flower is rare, a bitter breed that blooms but once a year, set as a trap for love to ensnare, but only open hearts beware, for hers was torn bare, never repaired from that first tear. I need to copy paste that. I have a place to put that. My neck is really wanting to like stretch. I get what you mean when you say you can feel the emotions you want the reader to feel before you write the poem. Sometimes that's all the inspiration I need to write something. Yeah, I think it's that spark. It just sometimes it's more than a spark. It's like a tiny flame that you're like, if I hold this too long, I'm going to get burnt. So you need to get it out of your palm and like out. It just like got to make it exist because it's asking to be exist. It's like burning. It's like begging you to exist. That's what I could put it as. It's like these ideas are begging me to make them exist. But sometimes it feels very me. Like it feels very like I know I could cite like where all these emotions came from. And sometimes they feel a little bit like I'm channeling. Like I often read from a woman's perspective or write from a woman's perspective. But I think I'm a divine feminine, if that makes any sense to you. There's a sad one. Well, I don't know, Harley, if you've been here long enough to already hear this one, but this one is called Ghosts of Him. Ghosts of Him. I woke again, alone in bed. Who made this thing so wide? I turn my head away from the emptiness inside. Should I donate the piano, for it only gathers dust, or the old charcoal grill that will soon be only rust? A table set for two, with candles lit and placed, and the records stay on shelves, rare if ever to be played. But the day again is new, and the night is only young, but the coffee pot is steaming as the fridge begins to hum. But I see him in the kitchen, and I spot him in the stairs, and I talk to him in dreams just to wake with him not there. And I know I should be grateful for the love I felt within, but it's hard when I encounter all these daily ghosts of him. One is standing in the driveway, one is mowing in the yard, one is always in my eyesight, one is washing the old car. They say the medicine should help me. Under many pills I numb, but one day every year, where I hide it under tongue. Then I spit it in the bin, and to our spot I race, where I get to soothe my longing and kiss his absent face. I asked, I went to a, what do you call it? Art fair. And there's a author lady there that I sat and talked, or didn't sit, I stood and talked to. And she basically, she was an author. So I asked, hey, is it normal to be able to feel almost all the emotions that you want to evoke at the end of your book without ever picking up the pen? And she said, yep, that's part of being a writer. And I was like, oh, comforting. Because I get these visions where I'm like, wow. Yeah, Sody Pop, check out this sick vape. It's got built-in chapstick, and it can turn off the light. Pretty cool. Oh, and it comes into two parts. I used to sometimes. Oh, did you? Okay. Sorry, I was being sarcastic. If it's this thing, it's Harbor Freight sells them here in the U.S. and it goes between your outlet and your device, so you can shut things off and on with it. And I think it's really fun to do this to like signify when I start reading the poem and when I'm done. And I actually kind of like this light better. Bop, 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 bop. My frames suck, don't they? I'll probably leave at 3 hours, which is 20 minutes from now. Welcome, Blue Destroyer. Take it easy. You can actually crack that porcelain. You might want to take some audio clips and put it on a Discord somewhere to prove that how just exactly fierce it will be. That's my best recommendation. Okay, Jackie, thanks for stopping in. If your walk is less than 19 minutes, I'll probably still be here for a couple minutes. But if not, good night. Thanks for stopping in. I'm going to read Plume. Loosen the root of this curse. Is it true that we are all? You wear yours so different. You wear yours so tall. I will not drop my weapon. You'll have to cut it from my grip. A child inside, shaking, nauseous from the trip. Release this bad dreamer, or let me in on the joke. Release this poor bad dreamer to a plume of gray smoke. Oh, cool. This one's kind of like this one feels a little bit like I will find you and I will kill you type of thing. It's called Trails. I will reveal you. All who see will know exactly how you run. Loved ones of the past couldn't quite see you. I picked up on your scent. You had a careless moment and broke some twigs. I am new here, but I am paying attention. More than you may expect. Those distractions no longer work on me. So toss your dimes. No false shine will turn this head. I think if I cover that, it doesn't turn on as good. I doubt Jackie's still here now, but did you just drop that like a gem? Dreams are reality, or is that because of there's a dream in the plume? Yeah, release this bad dreamer. It just seems like something you'd say right before you leave, like, deuces, don't forget, dreams are reality, gotta go, bye. Oh, I wrote this a while back. This is really short. It's called Heat. She cools my head. The heat is overwhelming. I warm her heart, just above freezing, enough to keep beating. This is less of a poem and more of a concept. It's called Tarawanda. No, there definitely was something that would follow me around when I was younger. Most vividly, I recall walking around my aunt's house at night within the radius of the streetlight, just knowing they were there. There were two of them. I remember because one was noticeably taller. They were always there. The other side of a car parked on the road, or between the shrubs, or behind tree trunks in the park. I always felt obligated to pretend that I didn't notice them, like I was somehow being polite. But also something bad might happen if I point them out. I don't know when they stopped coming around, but they did stop. And as an adult, it's just me out there, and it gets lonely. We got people staying, so they get a treat. It's not a treat, it's a dark one. This one's kind of, actually, you know what? I'm going to wait on that one. Plus, it's better read, that one. That's true. I guess one person's treat is another person's torture. I had to use the two T's there. Here's a short story. I want to share this one. It's called More Than Six. The memory was gone for most of my life. I remember it now, mostly vivid. Dad was in the kitchen. Mom was in the hall. It was assumed that I didn't know Mom was there. My father's eyes went from brown to light red as he slammed a fork down on the table and proceeded to try to reprimand me for not mowing the lawn like he told me to. This simply wasn't true, a fact that we could walk outside and quickly prove. Knowing I was right this time gave me an extra stride of confidence. So I said with all the attitude a 10-year-old could muster, "Do you want me to show you?" And just after I spat that out, a sudden zen fell over his face, as if suddenly reprogrammed. I recognized this false zen. It was a dreadful omen that something came loose inside and started rattling. This is the mode where, historically speaking, he does the most damage. He started to rise from his chair as if being hoisted by a crane, but instead of the expected focused walk in my direction, he immediately slumped back down, as if a precise weight was applied. His head lowered, and his bottom lip poked out as if pouting, and it felt in that moment that the roles were suddenly reversed. I felt a foot taller and strong. But just when I thought this power was all mine, I realized something. The room was dark behind me, and though the sun was out hot, the back of the house was filled to the brim with shadows. I felt the back of my shirt begin to cool. Without as much of a glance, I could almost count the figures. Some felt more vague than others, but somehow I knew that there were definitely more than six. There was an inexplicable feeling of balance that saturated the moments that followed. I couldn't move. I felt like nothing in the house nor the whole universe could move for a small eternity. But something must have eventually budged, as my next memory was of later that night, hearing Mom and Dad's indistinct downstairs banter, muffled through the ragged carpet under me. Their voices resounded, neither one raised nor angry sounding. I quietly stepped around my room listening, while scanning the subfloor's topography with my bare feet, avoiding the pet stains, feeling for high points and sinkholes. The next day came, and everything was steady and improved, but one thing was off. Dad's eyes. I haven't really admitted it before, but his eyes were never the same. One person's treat is another person's Trista. Are you saying you are the antithesis of a treat? Trista, the witchy, twisted. What did I say? I had a long one once. Trista, the twisted. I don't even remember. I think it's because we had a word we made up at the same time. Ventriloquisted Trista or something. You don't know what you're saying most of the time? The concepts or the words? Like, do you have the concepts in your head, but the words aren't coming out right? Or you just like saying things and then you're like, I don't even know what I'm saying. Yeah, ventriloquista. Ventriloquista? I forget. Ventriloquista or quista? Ventriloquista, the twisted sister. Yeah. Let's simplify it. What's your version? Are you a smoker or a gummy person? Or is there other ways that I don't even know about? Poor Lucky. I feel like my comments were tame and they were like weirding him out. So I'm like, oh man, I would probably overpower the poor guy. This is the shortest thing ever. I don't even know why I'm mentioning this. Dive. She she dives into the dirt like a pool. This is something not comfortable to watch. I don't know why I even kept that. I should have just got rid of that. A pipe. I guess that makes sense. I think it's harder to weird him out than one may think. Okay, well, he just seemed overwhelmed by something that I felt was simple. I'm like, oh no, because I've done that before with people. I've been too much for people, and I've been like, whether I'm talking fast or switching topics too fast or got too deep too fast or the joke was too goofy or something. I've done that before. So I was like, I was being careful. I'm like, okay, I've got to take it easy on this guy. How's it going, low lad? Is that what I call you, low lad? You're the queen of too much? Yeah. Then I must be the prince or something, because I'm not always, you just have to find, I'm just more aware. I'm more aware of when I'm about to overpower somebody instead of just blowing it all out. I can pick up a little bit more on the nuance where I'm like, okay, I have to like take it easy. I like being too much. I don't want to stifle that, but I just finding better ways to wield that too muchness and where to put it and where to refrain, I guess, if that makes sense. Okay, I'll call you Lola. Lola D. I'm guessing the 7921 was just assigned to you, or maybe 7921 is your favorite number. And also, also, Trista, I believe you. I take your word over mine because you know him better. I might need to go get water or something. I read a bunch of poems tonight. Lola. I walked up to her and I asked her to dance. I said, Lola. Lola. That wasn't freestyle. That was a song, if you guys didn't know. This is a narrative. This is not, the Kinks. This is not a poem. This is more of a narrative, but I'll still dim the lights for it. It's called Tech. And it kind of reminds me of something that Nikola Tesla or somebody said. With the advent of each new technology, breeds and stems off several uncharted tributaries of wondrously innovative and unprecedented methods to torture ourselves and one another. Trista, that's funny because when I'm at the grocery store or whatever, and as long as it's not realistic, like when they say, okay, they'll be like, that's 1941 because $19.41. I always like to do like a dad joke and be like, oh, as I'm pulling the money out of my wallet, I'll say, that's the year I was born. Especially if it's like late 1800s, it's like, that's 1875. I'd be like, oh, it's the year I was born. And I hand them the money. And I think it's funny, but it took about a year and a half of doing that on and off for somebody to finally chuckle at it. I'm still proud of it. I think it's a solid joke. So yeah, you could, I agree. I agree with Trista. You should start saying, oh, it's not random. That's the year I was born. And give yourself a convincing time traveler narrative happening. Poetry complete. Oh no, Quentin showed up at the wrong spot. Has to turn around. Maybe it is. Oh, that is kind of nice for them to say that. Is that so they ask you if that's the year you were born. I just have to bring that information forward and say, yeah, 1879. Oh, that's the year I was born. What a coincidence. Here's your money. That's not in the right folder. Oh, no, I can't read that one. That's too personal. I do have a couple that are too personal. Mostly not. This is not a poem. This is another narrative. It's called The Best Dreams Don't Come True. Like a movie next weekend. The best dreams are kept untrue. A dream come true is also the death of it and the birth of a reality. And everybody already has a bunch of those. So go ahead and cash in your smaller dreams like a lottery ticket at the gas station and work for your bigger ones like a bi-weekly paycheck. But be content with your most precious ones being high up on the marquee where you can't reach them. We all need something to look forward to. That's a funny short narrative too. Happiness is not dreading going to work and not dreading coming home. I'm not saying I achieved this, but that's what it is. Debs, you're still here? See ya. Thanks for staying. Thanks for coming in and staying. Here's another narrative. It's called Matching Snowflakes. Again, this isn't so much of a poem as a concept. One more thought before I call it a night. I never really believed the idea that no two snowflakes are identical. I just figured throughout time there are a few that happen to match perfectly. But maybe I was thinking naked eye and not super close up. Really, just a week or two ago, I was staring at a block wall in a public restroom, admiring the little voids and textures of the concrete poured block, and I thought to myself, I bet there are no two blocks that man had ever cast that the topography matched perfectly, even on one side, and there probably never will be. So I understand now. So that's just a narrative of how I didn't believe I believe there were matching snowflakes, but then I see how many variables there are in other surfaces, and I realize, well, maybe not. Now I'm getting tired. Probably be closing within 5 minutes, I would say. I'm still going to wonder what Victor's question was, Probably wake up in the middle of the night. What was his question? It'd be a funny thing to do, though. I should just hop on there. I think I'm going to hop on his stream sometime and be like, hey, Victor, I got a question. And then just ghost him. Tag you're it. Okay. I'm going to repeat this again in other streams. I found an answer to whether your glass is half full or half empty. Okay. Whether or not the glass is half empty or half full, I feel is not a question of your optimistic or pessimistic tendencies, but rather an assessment of your direction. Are you drinking it down or pouring it up? If you are diminishing it, you are half empty. If you are replenishing, then it is half full. What is your goal? Does that make sense? So if you say the glass is half empty, that's because you were drinking it and stopped there. If you say the glass is half full, it's because you're pouring it up and the goal is full. I also believe I figured out what the correct way to put the toilet paper is on the thing. If you don't have little ones or cats or dogs in the house, you always put it so it comes off the top of the roll. So it's closer to you when you pull down on it. If you have children or dogs or playful cats that would spin it and unravel it down to the floor, then you put that damn thing in backwards so you have to reach to the back of it to pull. Because then when they spin it, the tail that's would be draining to the floor is just flopping. So I believe I found the answer to the toilet paper thing, and it depends on who's in your household or if you have grandkids or something. Yeah, I'll have to leave soon just because I'm getting hungry. And lately, I just go to bed when I'm hungry so I don't have to eat and then eat in the morning. Life hack. Oh, really? For the cats? Because they can claw through it too, right? Like, it doesn't matter if they're spinning it or not. You had to buy a protective box with toilet paper. See? Cool. That's going to conclude my poetry for the night, which is plenty. And I still got 2 minutes of just sitting here going like this, getting tired or so before I completely end it off. So shout out to the lurkers, shout out to the regulars, shout out to the newbies passing through and being goofy. Shout out to pretty much everybody. Shout out to Miriam if she's still here. Shout out to Jackie. I didn't see Louis pop in, but he could be here still. Shout out to Victor. Shout out to everybody in there. I'm not actually going to remember every single person right now, especially because I'm getting tired. But yeah, you're definitely regular. Good fiber intake. When I first read that, I read it as good fiber mistake, and I'm like, what does that mean? That's a joke somebody used to always say when you came back from the bathroom. They'd be like, I hope, or no, when you're headed, I'm going to go to the bathroom. They're like, or no, you come back from the bathroom, and they're like, did everything come out okay? It's stupid and simple. But and also, Trista and anybody who knows about the experiment, interesting to note that it didn't freeze up, and I'm at 3 hours and 4 minutes. So put that into the database of information that I can run past that time, or maybe it's because YouTube knew I was on their ass. So I'm doing experiments. They're like, oh, we better throw him a curveball because he's on us. I think that could be the case. Next time I'll pick the guitar up for a little bit again too, probably. All right. you got a capital LOL and a lowercase. So there's something called this, and it's just the new LOL because we're overusing it, or we're starting to say LOL without even laughing. We're not starting to. We've been doing that for a long time, but it stands for yeah. And we're going to spice this life right up. So I want people to use that if they're willing and able. Just use it with a friend when you're texting. Just be like, yeah, blah, 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 CTM. and hope that they say CTM. And he'd be like, yeah, it's chuckle to myself because we're going to start a new movement. My father came up with this, and now my sisters use it. I have a friend or two that uses it, and I appreciate it. It's goofy, but it's just fun. And then if I can tell him that it's making rounds, I think he'll feel like his life is validated more. So, so that's the plan. So I'm gonna try to use that more as well. I'm slacking on my part. So yeah, you got to reinforce it now. I use this one a lot for at the moment, and that might be official. That might be official. I don't know. And then what's another one I use? I don't know if it's conventional. I can't think of the other ones. There's a couple that I feel like I use that are unconventional, or maybe they are and I didn't know it. But I'm gonna set a hard time. At 3:10, I'm gonna leave. Yeah. Don't say what it is because as far as I know, no. Dang it, what is AFK? AFK. At Okay, say what it is because I can't think of what that is. AFK. Or maybe I don't know it. AFK. The key's probably silent. Is it like a away from keyboard? Thanks for giving it in increments because I love guessing games. Away from keyboard. Somebody put that, yep, recently, and I had to think about it. Yep. Okay, cool. Okay. Away from keyboard. See, I skipped AOL and AIM in chat rooms. What I'm doing lately with streaming and hopping on lives and talking on Discord and is kind of new to me relatively. And part of this, it's part in the whole parcel of the loneliness epidemic, let's be honest. But to where I'm reaching out more and I'm interested more and I'm out there more, even in real life too. But anyway, ASL. Yeah, American Sign Language. Then there was ASL. Is it away also? Always singing loudly. That's definitely it. Definitely it. Ludley. More accurately represented as A/SL. Answer? Someone. No. I think I'll need a hint again. Give me the first word. Often the first thing you say to someone in a random chat. I usually say hi folks. HF. Answer? No. I don't like it when people say said hi. There's part of me who would kind of think that's fun. But I'm the type of person lately who thinks that speed dating would be fun, who thinks that Omegle would be fun. And something else, like just like stuff that's kind of fun, but it wouldn't always be. Random chat. Okay, so not like a chat room or a chat room. If you gave me the first word, would it give away the whole phrase? Okay. Oh, okay. ASL. And do the slashes denote like the word or, like A or S or L? Wow. I usually start with, what's your favorite dinosaur? It gives a lot of info about that person. They're more like comments. I'm starting to get to the point where I'm thinking that even if you give me one of the words, I'm going to be in the dark. But maybe I shouldn't underestimate myself, I guess. Today maybe AGL instead. I don't think that's going to help. AGL instead. I don't know. ASL, AGL. How's it going, brutal? Or brutality? We're just winding down. I did a bunch of poetry reading, talked about dreams a bit. Age, sex, legal status. Age, gender, location. Oh, okay. So it's more for flirting or something? Age, gender, location. Age, sex, location. So is that correct? I couldn't imagine. Yeah, I think you're right. Like, that'd be too risky now or something. Or maybe it's always the same thing. Yee! I got one. Oh, yes. It's funny. I said I was leaving at 3:10, and now we're here 4 minutes after it. Yeah, that's what we were discussing is short things, because we were doing AFK, and then we did some other thing. So we were just playing a guessing game randomly about what that meant, and I love guessing games. So I'm sitting here like on the I'm sitting here on the vine, just trying to be like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Because I skipped that whole. I never was on the chats and stuff. I was late to get on Facebook. I did use MySpace a little bit, but it was. Sorry, I was going by lapse time and not by the actual time. It is 2:21 where I am here, AM, and I've been on live for 3 hours and 15 minutes. So when I said 3:04 or 3:10, I meant 3 hours and 10 minutes. Yeah, scuba. What about laser? Do you remember what laser stands for? Always, always patient, seeking extra commitment. It is 5 words, right? So it's not like sec isn't short for seconds or something. Like it's OPSEC. On point. Light activated sensor. Extremely rad. I like that. That might be better than the truth. Sec. I'm going to guess the first word first. Is it on? Oh, it is just 2 words. Opposition section. Opponent secular. Ooh, is it Operation Security? Obviously, Trista got that, not me. I actually thought about doing not trivia, like game show type stuff, but I played that once in a different realm, in a different chat, and it turns out everybody gets a slightly different, sometimes you get a slightly different timing, where I won this thing, but they said that my name was below it. I'm like, oh, that kind of sucks. So it's not very competitive to play games like that on chat from that narrow view that I had. Yep, Operation Security. Laser. Yep. I can't even get used to military time. Like, I have to sit here and be like, what time is it? Oh, it's 7. But there's one word I get wrong on laser sometimes, but it's interchangeable. And nobody should be researching it. It's got to be from your brain, you know? Obviously, that's cheating. If we have no takers, I think it's light amplification by the stimulation of electron radiation. Oops, I gave it all away. I shouldn't have. I apologize. Yeah, light is the first word. And I screwed it all up. I apologize, people. I apologize, people. That's my mistake. So I wonder if I should just keep goofing off until everybody leaves, or if I should leave soon myself. Oops, what'd I do? I wonder if anybody has a popular enough stream where they just stream and leave so that people can be like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. You forgot what that is already? It'll come with CYT. Could you tell? Or maybe can you tell? Yay. Oh. calm your tits. I could see that one being more needed than can you tell? Well, you might use can you tell more. But calm your tits fits better, I think. So I saw a Chevy Tracker the other day, literally laughing out loud. So I saw a Chevy Tracker the other day that had this on there, and it said, wait, how did it work? Okay. Chevrolet said, cracked heads, every valve rattles, oil leaks, engine ticks. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cute. But then a friend said, but it's still running. I'm like, yeah, it's still running. So there's something to say for that. This is kind of fun because I never lost this much steam and still stayed. Man, I like Earl sweatshirt as a wrapper. That's random that I popped up a side thing here. Well, those dreams I mentioned earlier, I've been wanting to say for a while because it's really weird to have a double layer dream. I then wonder if it's just the plot and I wasn't lucid dreaming. But there's a lot of times where I did dream and I'm looking around like I am in a dream. And that's really neat. But I also haven't had dreams for very long. Yeah. It's like that thing. What? I thought you called. I thought you called. It is kind of a chicken. It's like, I'm going to wait for you guys to leave. You're waiting for me to leave. So I'll be here until 5 a.m. I'm not going to be here that long. I think it's like it's tempting to stay because randomly it seems like a couple people just hop in. I'm like, well, maybe I should just stay a little bit longer. And that's it. I'm gonna do my real quick before I leave, I'm gonna do that little guitar diddly that I came up with again. Oh wow, my butt hurts from sitting. Something like it. That sounds like a good spot to stop. All right. 3-hour lives, yeah. And now I'm at 3 hours 26. If I started earlier and had more variety, I could go longer, probably. So thanks for everybody who stayed. Thanks for everybody who flown through. Thanks for everybody who popped in like some kettle corn, then dipped like a vanilla cone. Shout out to the people who gave me feedback, and shout out to the people for the guessing games. And we'll see you another time. I'm going to hit the sack. So thank you. Bye, guys. Of course, shout out to Trista for being a trooper. And 333. Don't make me try to beat that. I'm still here. Okay. See you, Trista. But I'm going to stick around because I want to beat your record. So I'm going to have to switch it up for these last couple minutes. It's 3:27:17. I'm going to go to 3:34 or so. So we're going to bring this out. I know it's not going to be as cool as all your threes, but it'll be higher numerically. Wait, 3:33? Oh, wait. Yeah. Okay, 3 minutes. Okay. I thought I had a half an hour to go. I'm like, wait, I was going to abort that mission. Anybody who missed this earlier, well, I don't think I showed this on this stream. This is we'll call it a model car that my dad made from scraps at work because he thought it looked kind of like a car. So he drilled some holes in it, I think, and added taillights, headlights, axles, and steering wheel, and a trunk. This used to be it's a fuse container. Used to have a lid, so it was like a trunk. And it used to have a gas cap here. It was a oiler thing. So this is significant to me because now Dad's still alive, but this captures the spirit of a lot of things I've done in my life where I took something and repurposed it, or took something at work and made an artistic thing out of it. And this is one of my prized possessions, this little car. And he probably made this, I don't know, this is a long time ago. He made this and gave it to me. And the wheels are little ball bearings. They actually roll. And I'm in a stage of my life where I'm getting rid of a lot of different things. I'm purging a lot of physical objects because they served me and now they don't. Which, a lot of people are used to that. This was a new thing for me. It felt uprooting, but this stays. This is one thing that I want to keep, and it don't take up a lot of space. So this is one of my prized possessions. Thanks you, Kitty Cat Clyde. So shout out to my father for making this, and to some degree probably instilling that spirit in me of repurposing things and seeing things different and making cute little things. I guess he's not a craftsman. Well, maybe he is, but he never nurtured it. I don't know. He doesn't build things for a living. He doesn't do a lot of art really, but this is cute as heck, so I'm keeping it. Have to show off my pocket protector. I love the smell of leather, but I wanted a pocket protector, so I made this one out of leather. I'm not skilled. I'm not like a leather worker. I just decided I could do it. And big hand stitching all across it. I wanted it to be big exposed stitching. A buffalo nickel button. It doesn't do anything. It's just ornamental. But I can put this in my pocket and feel cool because it's something handmade by me. Also, talking about my father and his artifacts. He gave me his prized possession. Last time I visited him in North Carolina, he gave me his possession. We like to think of it as a saber-toothed tiger tooth. It's probably a horn of some kind. I don't know. But I guess he dug this when he was like 5 years old. He's always been into archaeology. And he kept it through the Air Force. He kept it through all stages of life. It was always in a drawer or something, kept somewhere safe. And one day he just said, I want to give you my prized possession. I'm like, okay. And I actually do really appreciate it. And I keep it for now in this grand piano thing because it fits pretty well with the curve of this cutout. And I'm going to keep it as long as I can too. It don't take up a lot of space. This stays with me now. And oh, cool. I beat my time now. So good night, Kitty. And good night, Trista. And good night, whoever else. And see you another time. Thanks for stopping in. I already said pretty much all the thank yous. I'll just leave those at that. So I beat Trista's score. I'm at 334. I'm not going to wait for a really cool time. I'm just going to revel in that. Yeah, good night. I beat Trista's time of 3. Now I'm at 3:35:01. It's going to be a couple more seconds after that. Good night, everybody. Thank you.